What we did hear this morning was the Minnesota Vikings will not be pursuing Aaron Rodgers. That's kind of been, I think, what is being understood as the holdup in this entire convo is maybe Aaron, once again, we have heard nothing from Aaron.
Yes.
Okay. Is Aaron still want to play? We have no idea. We'd assume by now he would know if he wanted to play. You would assume, but that's a massive decision for somebody that's committed his entire. He's 40 plus years old. He's committed his whole life to football. I mean, this would be the last. Like, that's a massive decision to have to make, especially for the last team you're going to play for. If that is what he's contemplating, and then as it continued to roll out, it was like Aaron is literally trying to see what all the options are. Like, are the Minnesota Vikings an option? And if they are an option, does that change a conversation at all? He said he's open to anything attached to nothing or open to everything attached to nothing. It seems like from what Tom Pelissero is saying is the picture's getting a little bit clearer now. Cam Hayward said, you either want to be a Steeler or you don't, dude. And it's like, Cam, have you talked to do we know if that's what Aaron's thinking? But the way it's been reported by the insiders who want the deets, they want the news, they want to break it, they want to do that whole thing, they want to put a notch on the scoreboard, which that's their business, literally, and do what you got to do. But Aaron hasn't said shit. Like, he has not said anything. And then Schefter said people close to him are saying he's like, nobody close to Aaron really says anything. And if they do say it, there's a chance Aaron does the complete opposite because something got it. And the person that leaked that is gone forever. Like, there's not a lot of people that are in the Aaron circle that have any idea what has happened. And we only know that because we've been on this ride for the past 5-6 years, and we have no fucking idea. So, like, AJ, I don't even think knows, So this is, it's all very interesting with Aaron. Always is. Always has been. But allegedly, seemingly, Tom Pelissero is reporting that the Vikings are on the pursuit of Aaron Rodgers. So maybe the picture does come into a little bit more focus for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, we were always talking, not from knowledge, but just guessing kind of what Aaron would do. And that's always a dangerous game. But this feels like, not another teen movie where, the Vikings were the belle of the ball, and that's where he wanted to go. And the Steelers are this girl just sitting back who always wanted him, who always loved him. We're sitting in the back of the class.
Didn't always. There was like a day or two, and then all of a sudden, we ain't got time for this guy.
Hurry up.
No, What's he doing?
We just get very disrespected very quickly, or feel disrespected very quickly.
Amen.
Kind of in our blood. And Cam was born and raised in Pittsburgh. His dad was a Pitt star, Ironhead. Shout out Ironhead. So, and then Cam's lived there for 15 years. So he's kind of got that Yinzer blood in him. I think that's where he was speaking from. But no, I still think Aaron gives the Steelers the best chance to win. I don't know if he wants to go to the Steelers or the Giants, or he'll just walk off into that sweet, beautiful California sunset.
Honestly, the retirement thing has kind of
starting to feel more like a
potential, yeah. And that's just, once again, we have not talked to him. No. This is us just following all the other stories with him saying nothing. It has just been nothing said from him or his team, and all these other teams putting out shit. We want an answer. And there is a chance with these insiders that the teams are like, can you apply some public pressure here that we want an answer sooner than later? Because obviously that does help everybody to know what's happening with their roster. So it does feel like, what if he does love those walks on the beach at sunset?
True.
What if he loves that towel draped around him? What if he loves the feeling of the water coming through his toes? What if he loves the ability to just hop on his plane because he's the highest paid player in the history of the league and just go on a trip somewhere and disappear for 2 months? Never been able to do that in the fall. I heard there's whole different excursions of life in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's a chance that, especially with the moons and how,
he might climb Everest in September. That might be the best month for it.
Yeah, so back to Tone's point. A lot of people have been trying to put themselves into Aaron Rodgers' shoes and trying to think for Aaron. That's just not possible.
That's a fool's tag.
Don't do that.
I don't think that is possible. This is a very different individual than anybody you've ever met before. And all the greats are different. Like, that is just how they're different than normal humans. They are different than everybody else. That is why they become who they become. And it's like, this guy, if you talk to any player that has played or coach that's coached against him and been like, certified, brother. Yeah. This is one of the ones, which is why this happens around the NFL every time Aaron does anything. Now, the media and the fans, they have their thoughts and narratives about him, and, some half-truths potentially are released that fuel those narratives for people, and people feel the way they feel. And he is certainly an anomaly. And there's a lot of things he does that we go, holy shit, did not know humans operate in that fashion. Like that is a legitimate thing, but that's who he is. And I think that's part of the reason why he's so damn great. You know, he gets mocked and ridiculed a lot, and I bring this up because I think it's very important. He gets mocked and ridiculed a lot about the family. It's like, I think he's pushed all that shit away so that he could just be, like, this guy, old school football player.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, that is old school. Hippie, for sure. Brilliant, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he went to Cal, and the celebrity Jeopardy thing he did.
Exactly.
He could have
Mop the floor with Mr. Wonderful.
And Mr. Wonderful just so happened to be the one talking shit to the stupid jock.
Football player.
You know, the stupid jock. I think you put anybody in the celebrity realm. Now, I think Ken and the other guy that
Brad Rutter.
And the guy that doubled down on everything that we love.
Oh, Jimmy Holzhauer.
Holzhauer.
Oh, yeah.
You put like the super duper trivia people in there, I think Aaron's probably in trouble because those people have treated trivia like he has treated football. But people don't want to give him credit for how intelligent he is. And I would assume, with everything we're learning now, via New York Times articles and other things, he is feeling very empowered about his brain and his decisions and his ideas and opinions versus everybody else. So, you know, he's definitely an oddity, I will say, because there's nobody and nothing like him in any sport, but there's a reason the teams want him, and it's because he's a guy, certified. Mm-hmm. And if he was to just step away at this moment, it's like maybe, even after years now of me saying there's no way this guy's gonna retire. This is his whole life, literally his entire. He goes and takes a trip. He comes back. Guess what? It's ball. Mm-hmm. He does this. It's ball. Competing, having a purpose, having fulfillment, having a reason, like in everything like that. Now, granted, can he find all those things elsewhere? It's like I'm sure Aaron probably could, but he loves spinning it. And you can tell that at the end of the year. He got his ass kicked last year. Not only was it the Achilles recovery, remember he was in London. He got anti-ant.
Yeah.
And his knee and his ankle, I think.
Yeah.
And he jogs right back on the field. Doesn't miss a fucking play, I don't think. Just goes right back out there at the age of 40. It's like, I'm intrigued by it now. Now I'm interested. Like, what is this guy going to do? I have no idea.
Now, if you are the GM of the Giants, Joe Shane, or the Steelers, Omar Khan, are you okay with just sitting back and seeing what Aaron wants to do? Or is there like a drop-dead date, like, hey, by the draft we need to know? Or if you're one of the GM of those teams, what are you saying to Aaron?
Well, I think if everything about when you put a timeline on it is, do you have leverage, right? Because you really don't have a timeline when you don't have any leverage, right? And so, like, where's Pittsburgh going to get their next quarterback? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, they certainly can't think where they pick in the draft they're going to find a guy who's going to come in and start for them, right? And so I know they signed Mason Rudolph back, and certainly they don't think that he's, you know, they had him once. Maybe they think they can be the backup, but they lost two quarterbacks. They don't seem to have any inclination to want to sign Russell Wilson back. So that to me is you can only have a timeline when you have another option, when you have an answer. And you say, look, I need an answer here. I'm going to sign player Y. Or I need an answer here. I'm going in this direction. I mean, it's the same thing that happens in college football, in the portal, and in high school recruiting. Look, here's our offer. If you don't take this offer, I'm taking somebody else down the street because there is somebody else. But when there's nobody else down the street, you just got to sit back and wait.
Mason Rudolph, please, is back in Pittsburgh.
Dog.
Okay, please understand that. And you like Aaron with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I think if Aaron went with Mike Tomlin. Now, look, I know Atlanta paid Kirk Cousins too, so I think he probably is in this conversation because I can't believe, even though they paid him the $10 million to be on the roster, that they wouldn't do something with him to move the contract. So I think that certainly is. I know there's a lot of fanfare around Joe Milton and how he's going to be traded, but nobody really knows if Milton can play. I think if you're Pittsburgh, and you've added this receiving core, DK Metcalf, and to go along with George Pickens and Freiermuth, and to have some really talented offensive players, I think you're going to have to find somebody to come in and play right away. I would think they want to. I think they want an answer on Aaron, and I think they're going to have to wait as long as Aaron wants to decide.
AJ, how long is he waiting?
You got me, man. That's why I was curious to see if there was a deadline, but it seems like there's not really.
I don't know how there can be, because if I'm the agent, let's just type it, let's play this through. If you call me up and I tell Aaron, you know, I need a deadline, Aaron's going to say, well, who are you going to go with? Like, who's my competition? Like, who are you going with? You know, if you wanted to sign Russell Wilson back, you already would have done that. If you wanted to trade it for Kirk Cousins, I'm sure you probably could have done that by now. So I think that's what you have to look at. Look, everything's a negotiation and everything's about leverage. Where is the leverage point?
It's on a beach in California right now, it seems like.
Right.
And there's a chance. There's a chance he doesn't play, too.
Exactly.
Right? AJ, that's still a thing or no?
I think that's definitely still. I don't think that's a possibility, but it is. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Okay, so you are still steadfast that he's playing ball again. You.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to let you know, me, over like the last 24 hours, for some reason, I'm like, what if this guy just retires? Like, that is just because of kind of how it's all played out publicly. And once again, Aaron has said nothing. Aaron has said absolutely nothing. There's been, I think Schefter put something out from those close to Aaron. It's like, that's not real. No. That's not like, we love Shefty, and maybe there is somebody of notable that is giving this information, but that could be completely false too. Like, that is, just from, and AJ, I need you to like kind of co-sign this, but for like the last 5 years, we've been a part of this, in the off season. And it's like, there's how many people that know probably what's going on? 2?
Very few.
Maybe. That's Lombo, yeah. Lombo's not even in there. Lombo understands. AJ's like maybe in the group of the people that knows, and it's like a tight little group. So it's like, what if he does retire?
When it comes to Aaron, I tend to not listen to. I think part of the job of being an NFL executive is to understand what to listen to and what not. And all the people that do this for a living, that do scoop, there is a stat sheet. There is a stat sheet you have to keep, and you've got to pay attention. And if somebody says X about Y, whether it's the place, you believe it. But if they say it about something else, we're in the lying season now in the NFL. I mean, we're in draft season. Everybody lies. I mean, everybody, how many times have we gone through, this guy's hot, he's going to move up the draft boards, and then he's sitting there in the green room forever. So I think you have to really pay attention and grade the guys that are giving out information, because you got to know whether you could trust it or not.
Yeah, we got to pay attention to those doing the scoop.
Yeah, exactly.
We do got to pay attention.